The world knew Mike Tyson as boxing's most fearsome heavyweight champion, a knockout artist who could end fights before they began, a cultural icon whose presence commanded silence. But what nobody suspected for 3 decades was the private battle raging behind closed doors, the hidden struggles, concealed traumas, and secret pain living beneath Iron Mike's public persona. Today, at 59, Mike Tyson is finally pulling back the curtain on a double life he kept hidden for 30 years. The truth is more heartbreaking than anyone imagined. Born June 30th, 1966 in Brooklyn's Fort Greene Hospital, Michael Gerard Tyson arrived into a fractured household already marked by absence. His biological father, Purcell Tyson, disappeared so early Mike carries zero recollection of him. Jimmy Kirkpatrick briefly assumed the father role, only to abandon the family when Mike turned 2. What remained was Lorna Tyson, exhausted from constant labor, desperately trying to keep her children alive as poverty tightened its grip. The family eventually settled in Brownsville, among New York's most dangerous neighborhoods during the 70s. Inside their rundown apartment, young Mike discovered what hunger and humiliation truly meant. Oversized eyeglasses and a pronounced speech impediment made him an immediate target. "Nobody saw me," he recalled, describing how shame embedded itself deep inside him. If you're finding this compelling, hitting that like button and subscribing really helps us continue bringing you these untold stories. Yet above the chaos, on the building's rooftop, Mike found his only tenderness: pigeons. He constructed coops from salvaged wood and confided in these birds secrets he trusted to no one else. Then, one devastating afternoon, a neighborhood kid killed Mike's cherished pigeon right in front of him. "My world collapsed," he remembered. Something fundamental broke inside. A burning determination ignited, born not merely from anger, but from terror and an unbreakable vow. He would never experience powerlessness again. That promise drove him into street life. By 13, he'd been detained nearly 40 times. Then, in 1978, one desperate mistake, stealing a purse, sent him to Tryon School for Boys. For 9 excruciating months, Mike waited in the visitor's room, hoping to see his mother. She never came. "I believed nobody cared," he confessed. Then fate intervened. Bobby Stewart, a counselor and former boxer, observed Mike attacking a heavy bag with extraordinary force. He saw potential worth saving. For the first time in Mike's existence, an adult didn't look away. At 14, Mike Tyson entered Catskill Boxing Club, brought by Bobby Stewart. Inside that worn gym stood Cus D'Amato, an aging trainer with penetrating eyes. Cus studied him silently, then spoke the impossible. "I believe you can become the youngest heavyweight champion in history." Nobody had ever expected greatness from him. Standing there, he felt the terrifying sensation of being genuinely seen. From that moment, Mike's life shifted. Cus didn't merely open his gym, he opened his home, his belief. Mike now slept under a roof where someone left hallway lights burning, so he'd know he wasn't alone. But belonging demanded sacrifice. 4 a.m. runs through freezing Catskill mornings, 2,000 squats, 500 sit-ups, brutal sparring sessions. Mike went to bed certain he wouldn't survive. Yet within that suffering, something formed, a fragile belief he could become somebody. Cus was shaping me, Mike reflected, not just my fists, but my mind. But every rise demands sacrifice. In 1982, when Mike was 16, his mother Lorna passed away. "I wept because she never witnessed the man I was becoming," he said. Into that hollow space, Cus stepped forward as the father Mike had been denied. Cus became his legal guardian. For the first time, someone chose him. Under Cus's guidance, Mike transformed into something boxing had never seen. Cus taught him the peekaboo style, slipping punches by millimeters, striking from impossible angles. Mike studied endless footage of Jack Dempsey, memorizing every movement. In quiet moments, Cus would whisper, Heroes and cowards feel the same fear. It's what you do with it that matters. In that tiny Catskill gym, Iron Mike was born. Everything ignited when Mike Tyson stepped into professional rings on March 6, 1985. At 18, he carried not just gloves, but Cuss's prophecy. His debut opponent fell in under 2 minutes. That year, Tyson fought 15 times in 12 months, every victory by knockout. Fight purses escalated from $5,000 to $30,000, but pressure climbed faster. I was scared every fight, he confessed, scared of failing him. As 1986 surged forward, greatness chased him. Tyson demolished Marvis Frazier in 30 seconds. On November 22, 1986, at only 20, Tyson overwhelmed Trevor Berbick to seize the WBC heavyweight title. He became history's youngest heavyweight champion. The $2 million purse meant nothing. The arena's roar only amplified the silence where Cuss should have stood. Cuss had passed away in November 1985. The following year, Tyson captured the WBA title, dismantled Pinklon Thomas, then faced Tony Tucker in a grueling 12-round battle unifying all major belts. By 21, he was undisputed heavyweight champion, earning purses soaring into millions. Everything built toward June 27, 1988. Tyson versus Michael Spinks, a fight generating $21 million in pay-per-view, earning Tyson a $22 million purse. When the bell rang, Tyson moved like a force of nature. His final combination dropped Spinks in 91 seconds. History detonated. Yet at chaos's center, Tyson whispered years later, "I just wished he could have seen it."
Even at the world's pinnacle, shadows grow in silence. For Tyson, that shadow began when he lost Cuss. 3 years later, his manager Jimmy Jacobs passed away from leukemia. When Kevin Rooney was pushed from the team, the last guardian of Cuss's principles vanished. Into that emptiness stepped Don King. With Cuss and Jacobs gone, the moral compass keeping Tyson grounded slipped away. Training diminished, nights stretched. "I was a kid with excessive power and nobody refusing me," Tyson reflected. Street altercations occurred. His marriage to Robin Givens collapsed under emotional turmoil. Though remaining undefeated, internal collapse signs surfaced. By early 1990, at 23, Tyson entered Tokyo undertrained, unfocused, carrying years of unprocessed grief. Buster Douglas, a 42-1 underdog, rose from a knockdown with resolve Tyson couldn't match. In round 10, Douglas sent Tyson collapsing to canvas. "It felt like a dream I couldn't wake from," he said. The fall was consequence, a lesson proving even giants stumble when foundations erode. The descent deepened. In 1992, at 25, Tyson faced a conviction placing him behind bars for 3 years. "It sounded like my whole life closing," he said. Inside, he confronted versions of himself he'd spent years avoiding. "I was lost," he admitted. But prison forced reflection. "Discipline is everything," he later said. "Without it, I was nothing but potential." His 1995 return brought cheers, but something had changed. In 1997, during the Holyfield rematch, frustration erupted into an act shocking the world. "I regret that moment deeply," he said. The $3 million fine and year-long suspension marked the toll of losing control. The decline continued. Lennox Lewis overwhelmed him in 2002. In 2005, at 38, Tyson whispered, "I don't have it in my heart anymore." But the fall became financial too. By 2003, despite earning over $400 million, Tyson filed for bankruptcy, buried under $23 million of debt. "I trusted wrong people and didn't trust myself enough," he admitted. Extravagance drained his fortune. Bengal tigers at $70,000 each, over 100 luxury cars, a $2 million gold bathtub, diamond watches worth $630,000. He He sold his mansion to 50 Cent. Some nights he slept on friends' couches. Yet even in ruin, a small ember survived. At 40, humbled and stripped of everything, Tyson began understanding Cuss's simplest truth. A man's worth isn't measured by belts or fame, but by who he becomes when the world stops cheering. There comes a moment when applause fades and someone is left alone with truth they can no longer outrun. For Tyson, that moment arrived after bankruptcy. He said, "I realized I couldn't keep blaming life. I had to change."
At 40, stripped of everything, Tyson began a rebirth nobody believed possible. Therapy replaced chaos. Routine replaced recklessness. He returned to Cuss's teachings: discipline, honesty, humility. Cuss always said a fighter's biggest battle is with himself, Mike reflected. It took me a lifetime understanding that. His resurgence began not in rings, but on stage. When Tyson stepped onto Broadway in 2012 with undisputed truth, he didn't hide. He spoke openly about loss, regret, and grief. The show became a sensation, grossing millions. From there, new horizons opened. Film roles, business ventures, motivational speaking. By the early 2020s, Tyson had rebuilt an estimated $30 million net worth through reinvention and wisdom. His marriage to Lakeisha Spicer became his anchor. They married in 2009, weeks after the devastating loss of his daughter Exodus in a tragic home accident that year. That loss, the death of his 4-year-old daughter, became his darkest moment. "Nothing prepares you for that," he admitted. "No pain goes deeper." But Kiki stayed beside him through devastation. Together they built a family. Daughter Milan, born 2008, now rising in competitive tennis. Son Morocco, born 2011. "My kids are my redemption," Tyson said. More than 15 years later, they remained together, not because life became easier, but because they refused letting wounds dictate their ending. Tyson's health journey became another battle. Entering his 50s, his body carried decades of punishment. Sciatica flared constantly. In 2024, mid-flight, he suffered a violent gastric ulcer flare requiring immediate medical attention. Doctors spoke firmly. Heavy training carried risks no pride could outweigh. Healing became new discipline. Hospital halls replaced arenas. He traded explosive drills for careful stretches. Some days pain stopped him mid-step. Other days came like miracles. Tyson met each cycle with humility. "The toughest fight now," he said, "is keeping this body strong enough to enjoy the life I rebuilt." Now at 59, Mike Tyson stands in a chapter few predicted. After falling from unimaginable wealth into bankruptcy, he's rebuilt a stable life worth $25 to $30 million through his globally streamed Hot Boxin' podcast, film appearances, book deals, speaking tours, and business ventures. His primary Las Vegas home is a serene haven with wide sun-soaked spaces, polished floors, a private gym, meditation room, and tennis court for Milan's training. Beyond this sanctuary, he's invested in rental properties across Nevada and Arizona, steady holdings representing long-term stability. His garage keeps a curated collection: classic Bentleys, a Rolls-Royce, a limited edition Ferrari. No longer trophies of excess, but artifacts of a life rebuilt through discipline. His greatest transformation lives in how he wakes each morning. Tyson rises early, meditates, stretches, and follows routines designed for longevity. "Age teaches you what strength really is," he said. "Not power, but wisdom." His family is the heartbeat of his life. Milan trains daily in competitive tennis, Tyson watching quietly from the sidelines. Morocco brings him joy in everyday rituals. His older children, Reina, Amir, and Miguel, have grown into adulthood with his unwavering support. Beyond home, Tyson gives back consistently, supporting youth programs, mental health initiatives, re-entry programs, food outreach, and boxing gyms, serving children who grow up overlooked like he once was. Over the past decade, his contributions have reached hundreds of thousands of dollars. If I survived everything I lived through, then maybe I can help someone else survive their storm too. Tyson's life now isn't perfect, and he doesn't pretend it is. His body reminds him of limits. His past still whispers. But the difference today is profound. He no longer defines himself by mistakes. He defines himself by the courage to rise after them. His journey proves something rare and powerful, that someone can lose everything, fall to the lowest depths, break their own life apart, and still return stronger, quieter, wiser. His story reminds us that reinvention is always possible, that healing is always worth the work, and that no one is defined by their darkest chapter unless they choose to stop reading there. If you're searching for strength, for hope, for a reminder that your future is still unwritten, look to the man who fought his way back, not to the ring, but to himself. And from our hearts to yours, may your next chapter be filled with abundance, clarity, strength, and peace. From all of us at Golden American Stars, we wish you a life that is healthy, joyful, prosperous, and guided by the courage to rise every time you fall.